All right, so we're here with Matt Williams and Olly Pierce. Matt, you've been working out with Olly for how long now?
About a year and a half.
Okay. And when you came into the gym, did you have experience with lifting, or what were you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I played sports early on, so I lifted then, but then I was out of that game for a long time. But when I got into my early 50s, it got clear to me that I was in over my head.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to rehab this body at this age and what was too much, what was too little. And so I called Olly and just said, hey, I need some help. And he had me come in and began to find a number of problems with shoulders and back, upper back, things like that he started working on.
What's your process like when you bring people in? How do you Matt probably had an idea of what he needed to work on, but is there any specific way that you go about finding those problem areas and like how you adjust their training?
Yeah, man, definitely. So with Matt and everybody else that comes in, the first thing we focus on is getting, learning how to brace, right? So most people say getting your core tight. It's really beyond that, right? It's being able to, like as I poke myself in the solar plexus, to be able to do this and speak at the same time. That's how tight you need to be when you lift weights. And so once you start to learn that, everything else branches out from that. But until you learn how to brace, you're never going to have a true strong core, and you're never going to be able to lift very heavy weight.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, from the core, from this learning how to brace, everything spins out from there. And then so once we kind of got his core kind of sorted out, Matt had some weaknesses in his posterior chain.
Okay.
Also a little bit in the upper back there.
How did you target the posterior chain?
So we, with the equipment we have at Brit Brothers, we have some pretty awesome stuff for that specifically. We have a kickback machine which individually hits that on a unilateral level. We have the hip thrust machine, hyperextension, reverse hyper.
Do you use the reverse hyper a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll do, with the leg curls, making sure we're taking real slow eccentric movements on the leg curls. By taking a slow eccentric movement, it helps to stabilize the joint. And that's what's happening with a lot of our athletes. I'm not going to go on a tangent on athletes, but what happens with athletes today, they're trained to do this quick concentric pulse.
Right.
And there's no eccentric to balance it out.
Yeah.
But it's the same with a sedentary body, right? So if you're not working out with weights and you're over 40 years old, you have a sedentary body.
Yeah.
Because your body is not working against force. And so if you are in that category, then your posterior chain will be weak, your core is going to be weak, and probably your muscles in your upper back are going to be
right. What kind of changes did you see? Like, what have you observed with yourself, like moving through this process? Like, how has your quality of life improved?
It's a lot, and I don't say that lightly. When I would walk through our house, we have kids and grandkids, and so something's on the floor, and I'd always think, man, I do not want to pick that up. But now, like bending over, squatting down to pick something up, it's not so simple. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I live on property where trees fall, and I have to cut trees up and haul that out and split that wood and all that. And it used to take me 3 or 4 days to recover after cutting a tree down and cutting it up.
It's a lot of effort.
And now it's a normal part of the deal. I can just go work and not have pain in my back, not have spasms in my upper back. I'm able to I had surgery on this shoulder, and they were thinking I would have surgery on this shoulder at some point, and now I'm great. I mean, I can lift, I can do dips. If you had told me a year and a half ago, you'll ever do a dip again in your whole life, there's absolutely no way. And so it's been a slow process, and Olly was real clear about that. He goes, we're not going to get a long ways very quickly. It's going to take some time, and we're not even building yet right now. We're just kind of in recovery. Yeah. And so that was helpful to know. Took a long time for me to get in this situation, and it'll take a little time to get out of it. And we're going to have to work at it a little bit, but it's been great. It really has.
Do you have any, now that you've established this quality of life, do you have any further fitness goals, or is it more so just maintaining and having that functionality?
Whatever the goals I have is what Olly will tell me.
Okay.
Nice one, man.
Because I didn't really know that I could have gotten here.
Yeah.
So, and I have no desire to be big and bulky or anything like that. I just want to be strong, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be durable. Yeah. And so when and I mean it, and I'm laughing. I do mean it. Is that if Olly says, "Hey, here would be something good for you. Here's the next step," then I'm good for that.
Yeah. So having the biggest difference for you is having Olly to guide you.
Right. It's been very helpful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So there's things I know about. The fitness strength is not one of them. It's
Yeah.
just not something I really know that much about. It's been very helpful for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal to have that functionality. My dad actually works out at Brit Brothers as well, and he threw his back bending over to pet a cat.
Yeah.
And
It can happen.
it can literally be anything. And like, while that's kind of funny, that was a huge process to recover from. And now, like, his focuses are similar, like core and back strength are all the things that make him functional, and then the other stuff is just kind of more so, not necessarily for fun, but like, those are the things that you need
Right.
to have longevity, is some cardio and just having a solid core. Are the two things that will make the biggest difference.
And on top of that, so we have to take one step further, is that upper back strength.
Mhm.
Because 90% of the people that come to me with shoulder injuries and
Yeah.
shoulder problems like Matt have either an out of balance upper back
Mhm.
or just a weak upper back.
Yeah,
And again, today's society, most people are in a technological job.
yeah,
Exactly what they're doing. They're humping
Yeah.
over, and they're doing this, or they're doing this, and
Yeah.
there's no upper back work.
Mhm.
And so that's, again, 90% of the people that come to me with shoulder problems just have a weak upper back or out of balance upper back, and it's very indicative.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for sitting down with
Yeah.
us. We're
Yeah.
very happy to have you at the gym and be able to, like, something that Brit Brothers really encapsulates is that strength is different for everyone. And it's
Mhm.
incredible to see people who are just simply there to increase longevity, all the way to the more crazy people that we have at our zoo.
Yeah.
But we're very happy to.
Well, I'm glad to be a part. It's been really, really helpful for me. I recommend it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.